Good afternoon. I'm back. I'm Linda with Pinky Moss Cakes, Cookies, and Candy, also known as Pinky Moss Sisters in the Kitchen. And I came back to finish my Boston cream pie. So I'm going to give it just a second. I had to wait until this cake cooled, and we had a pretty big storm come through. I mean, it came a flash flood. And the radar looks very active, so I did a couple of these steps before I got on live because I didn't want that to start again and me not be finished. So we had a bunch of power surges. Thank God the power didn't go off, but there's more coming through. So I'm going to go ahead get started. I think I hear the thunder right now, so I'm going to get started with this. I cut my cake layer in half. I've got my simple syrup, and thank y'all for jumping back on and joining me. And I'm just gonna soak this bottom layer, and you'll see that because I'm using this pastry brush, the little crumbs get back in the syrup, and that's why I told y'all earlier to make sure that you pour it in a separate container, because if you don't, you won't be able to use your simple syrup at one time. But if you keep that all fresh, then it'll last in the refrigerator for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. So I used almost all that I had poured out. I'm going to pour just a little bit more in so I can soak this other side. I've also already got my ganache ready, and I'll tell y'all what I did that. Now this is my custard here. See, it's real nice and cold. And I know there was several comments about people couldn't hear me a while ago, or the words were cutting in and out. A lot of times, if you will go out and come back in, it doesn't do that. And I don't know why, but I watched the whole replay and it never cut out one time. So I wished I had some control over that, but I don't. So I just, you know, I hate that it's like that, but sometimes it's like it. And we just have to do the best we can with it. And I actually didn't even know it was doing that until I read the comments. Now you'll notice this is quite a bit of this custard in here. And I may not get it all in here, but I'm going to see. I do want a thick layer. So I guess that's that little offset spatula that seems like it's doing a little blurring. I think I hear the rain coming back. I sure hope I can get this finished before it starts again. I mean, it was coming a good old-fashioned thunderstorm a while ago. I mean, it was really cracking. I looked out the window, and about the time I looked out, I don't know where it struck, but lightning struck somewhere. And that thunder was loud. I'm going to try to get all this in there. Some of it may come out, I don't know, but we'll see. And I'm going to show y'all something in a minute that I cooked this morning. Actually had them done before 7 o'clock. In the summertime, I tend to wake up really early. So I was up at 5 o'clock in the kitchen. I think I woke Mike up because he got up and come in here, fix some coffee. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. So I'm going to let that sit there for a second. I cut that with my bread knife. And I'm going to see if I can slide this around here. Maybe move this just over a pinch. I'm going to touch that bread knife. I need to get that out of my way because I'll be nicking myself on it in a minute if I don't. So what I'm going to do with this top layer, I'm going to turn it over so I can do the simple syrup on the back, because it tends to run off of that top. So I'm just going to do it like this. And you just want to be generous with the syrup and What this does is that keeps your cake moist. A lot of chefs do this. A lot of bakeries do this. It's just a way to keep the cake from being dry. I just want just a tiny bit more. Now you can put your leftover in a fruit jar or some kind of container and stick it in the refrigerator. I usually date mine just so I'll know when I put it in there, because things tend to, days go by so fast and weeks that you might have something in there and you might not even realize it's been in there longer than it should be. So I usually try to date mine. Okay, I'm just going to turn this back over and put it on here. Now, if I wasn't doing this live, I would probably go ahead and stick this back in the refrigerator again and let it set a little bit more. But since I'm doing it live, I'm not. And let's see, how do I want to do this? I don't want it to ruin my cake board. So I may get me another piece of parchment and just put it on top of this, because I want to pour that ganache over it and I don't want it to ruin my board. So let me grab my parchment and put a fresh piece down. I remember back when during COVID you couldn't even get this parchment. I mean, Sam's didn't have it, and this is the big things you get at Sam's. It's got two in a package, and what you buy in the store, you could use it up in a week. And it was just, I use a lot of parchment, and it was not good because I couldn't get a hold of any parchment. Okay, let me get my cake lifters over here. These, and you can use the Wiltons or GoDaddy's, or I think Hobby Lobby has a brand that they have theirs. A little rubber tip came off. Let's see if I can slide it back in here. Never come off before. I don't know why that's coming off. It's hard. Putting some muscle behind it. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to lift this up. I guess I didn't need but one of them. I'm going to lift it up, and I'm just going to put it, I'm going to leave it on the cake lifter. And you can tell when I did that some of this filling came out because there's a lot in there. I probably had a little bit too much. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got about a 12-ounce bag, here's the thunder, of milk chocolate chips. And ganache, depending on what chip you're using, if you want a dark chocolate and you're using a semi-sweet chocolate with heavy cream, the ratio is different than this recipe. This is milk chocolate. So the ratio for this is 3 to 1, and that means 3 parts of chocolate, 1 part of heavy whipping cream. So this is about 12 ounces of milk chocolate chips to 3/4 cup of heavy cream. I did pour about a tablespoonful of light Karo syrup in there. A lot of recipes do not call for that, but I did put it in there. And if you're using, if you want dark chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate, the ratio is 2 to 1, and that means 2 parts chocolate to 1 part heavy cream. And it is heavy whipping cream. So I'm going to I'm going to just pour this over here. And you can see that it's pretty much set. And I did mix this with the mixer because I wanted it smooth. I had a little bit of little chunks in it, so I did it. So you can see it's pretty thick, and this is going to be more than enough to cover this, but I would have rather had too much than not had enough. So I'm just going to kind of start pouring in the middle, and depending on how much you want on there, you can completely cover the sides, or you can just let it run down the sides, and either one is good. I think the original ones probably did cover the sides, but if you look at recipes online, you'll see them both ways. So it just really depends on what you prefer. This chocolate really smells good. I love chocolate. So we're going to have, this is hot, and that's why you want your cake to be cold, because if the cake was hot, this would really be running off of it. It's already completely covered that side. So we're just going to say this one's going to cover the whole thing. Now I'm going to have to let it set here a little bit before I take it up, because I want that ganache to set. There's also a thing like whipped ganache. Whoops, I didn't get it all on here, so let me put a little bit over here so I can get that side covered too. And the whipped ganache is made completely different than this, because you obviously whip it with the mixer. But if you just want the ganache covering, or the, you know, like just a nice glaze over it, then this is what you want here. Okay, let me set this aside. Now, even this looks a little dark, but it's not. This is milk chocolate. So it's going to sit there a while. I won't be cutting this because I'm giving it, you know, I'm taking it for dessert for tomorrow evening. But when you cut into it, you're going to have that nice custard filling, and this will all set. When you're making it, another tip that I did, I heated this bowl in the microwave before I put my chocolate in it, since I didn't tell y'all how I did this. I heated the bowl for like 20 seconds at a time for about a minute, and then I put my chocolate in it. I put a piece of aluminum foil on the top and let it set, and then I put 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. You can use store brand or whatever brand you prefer, and bring that to a simmer. You don't want it to boil, and you don't want it to burn or scorch. Bring it to a simmer, and when you see almost like a little skim on the top of it, take it off the burner and pour it over. Don't pour the skim over it, but pour it over the chocolate. Put the foil back on it and let it sit. And once it sits for about 5 or 6 minutes, you can take a spoon or a fork and stir it. If it's not as smooth as you want it, just do like I did. Just get your mixer and beat it, and it'll make it real smooth. And then I added about a tablespoon of Karo to it. So that's how the ganache is. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. I am going to show y'all the muffins that I made this morning, and I kind of roughly call them pina colada muffins, but they're really not pina colada muffins. First of all, you know, they don't have any kind of alcohol or anything in them. But I just kind of made the recipe up. Now, I am going to be making these on live in a few days. But I wanted to show them to y'all. They have a glaze on them. And I made, let's see, I made 18 is how many it made, how many the recipe made. And what's in these is coconut, pineapple, crushed pineapple, and chopped candied cherries, and some toasted pecans. And I had these done before 7 o'clock out this morning because I got up real early. Mike ate one pretty quick with his coffee. And you can see I got some more over here in the little container over there. And he really liked it. And so he came back in here again and he said, which one of these things do you want me to get one of these muffins out of? And I said, it doesn't matter. You can get it out of either one of them. So he got another one. He ate two. And he really did like them. And I asked him, how did he rate it? And he said, well, I ate two. Does that tell you anything? And I said, yeah, but tell me what you'd rate it. So he rated the muffins a 9.6, which y'all know that's pretty high for Mike's rating. So I think even though I didn't taste of them, I know everything in them is delicious, and I think that it would be something that y'all would like to make. So I'll be making those soon, live soon, possibly this month. So you won't have to wait too long to see how I made them. It's a very simple recipe. You'll be surprised how simple it is. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video today on the Boston cream pie. I hope everyone is safe from the storms, and I know there's going to be a bunch more rolling through East Texas this afternoon and tonight. So I hope everyone stays safe, and wherever y'all are at, whichever direction they're moving. They usually move east, but who knows how they're moving this time. So have a great weekend. Enjoy your family. Get in the kitchen and bake something, cook something for your family. Share it with your friends and your neighbors. Always be kind. And thank you again, everyone, for all the kind compliments that you posted this morning when I was sharing my weight loss. This is one thing that I didn't share that I wanted to share. You know, I talked about, you know, how people told me that, you know, it looked like that my weight was just melting off, and I said, no, it's not. You know, it takes a lot of work. So the average weight loss since I've been doing this is about 1.75 pound loss a week. Now, when you first start watching what you eat and trying to get healthy, the first week or two, you're going to lose more weight. That's just a given because most people have water retention, so they're going to lose more weight the first week or two. But keep that in mind. I think that the 1.75 pounds weight loss per week, I think that is probably realistic for people because you probably don't want to expect to see big numbers from the beginning. And that's one reason I waited so long to share this. The key is consistency and sticking with it. And if for some reason you don't stick with it, well, there's always tomorrow to start over. So I wanted to encourage everyone about that. So if you really are serious about, you know, trying to get healthy, you certainly can do it. And most people, I would say most people can. And I'm not a medical person. I'm just speaking from myself and what I've done and what's worked for me. So the key, again, is to make up your mind to do it. Speak to your doctor if you have a doctor, and try to come up with a game plan. And eat sensibly, eat in moderation, watch what you're drinking as far as drinking calories. You know, you can drink, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't know what the coffee drinks have in them, like the lattes and all the fancy names they have. But you can drink several hundred calories in one drink if you're not very careful. So even when I was eating a lot of sweets and breads, I was always particular about not wanting to drink calories because those can add up fast. So just be encouraged, and just, you know, do your best to find something that works for you. I love y'all all. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Be sure to show kindness, and be sure to count your blessings, and don't forget our 52 weeks of giving. We don't mention it every week, but we do something every week, Mary and I do, to honor our commitment at the first of the year with the 52 weeks of giving. So thank you. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see y'all. I'll be cooking. I'll be here Monday by myself. So y'all wait to see what I'm going to be doing Monday, and it's going to be something different, but hopefully it'll be something y'all will like. So bye. Love y'all.